capitalism, all of that. Democrats are always for seizing public wealth, your wealth, private industry wealth, higher taxes. Oh, they want to tax everything, create new taxes. That's the Democrat modus operandi. This goes back forever. Bigger government. That's what they want. Republicans, we need to allow people, taxpayers, businesses to keep their money, to do what they need to do with their money in order to prosper the community, create more jobs, create more products, keep your money, buy more stuff. Yeah, that's the Republican idea. Or the tax breaks. I mentioned big government on the Democrat side. I mentioned, yes, we need less and smaller government on the Republican side. Think about stuff like this. Why I'm voting Republican? Look at the list of the truths on either side. Who was for? Mainly, I will say mainly, because there was an overlap on this, the whole lockdown of the economy during COVID. We had way too many stupid Republicans, noodle spine, didn't consider the cost to liberty, didn't consider the loss to our children and our businesses. But in general, there wasn't a lockdown the Democrats didn't love. There wasn't a heavy-handed approach to forced injections, forced, so-called vaccines. Oh, they loved all that. The government heavy-handed. Republicans, no. You had to take them kicking and screaming, the majority in that direction. Yeah, we were very much in favor of a more open economy and less restrictions. Democrats are for socialism, period. Today, with the Democrat Socialists of America, ain't no hiding it. No hiding it. They're communists. They're Marxists. They want government control of resources, government control of production, government control of distribution. And not only that, but the Democrats, the DSA, Democrat Socialists of America, they want to completely upend and transform the American government. They've always been for socialism on the Democrat side. Socialism is a bridge to communism, complete government control. Examine these issues. On the Republican side, we love capitalism because capitalism works, because capitalism enriches, because capitalism provides opportunity, because capitalism provides jobs. It provides prosperity. And that's why they're coming here illegally, the immigrants. Because in a capitalist society, even they find a way to create some type of business and make millions of dollars, more so than Americans who are native to our nation. Political correctness on one side, yeah, that'd be the Democrats. Proper, for them, the use of, or the restructuring of use of pronouns, all that confusion, yeah, that's on the Democrat side. We believe in freedom. Don't be imposing your stupid ideas on us. And there's more to this. Republicans are America first. More manufacturing, more jobs, more investment here. If government is going to spend money, government is going to be contracting with somebody. Government should be contracting with American industry, American companies first. Manufacturing should happen here in our country before it happens somewhere else and takes American jobs over there. Democrats, yeah, polar opposite to that. Let's. They'll stand up for Canada. They'll stand up for Mexico. They'll stand up for everybody else except the U.S. The U.S. will be lower on that list that they defend. Republicans, we know what a woman is. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Really? We're arguing this today, but yes, that's where we are. We have one of the justices on the Supreme Court. Wouldn't answer that question. Couldn't answer. For political correctness. It's not like they're voting for you. The American public, it's not like you have to worry about the 0.5% of the population, the trans population. We know what a woman is. Republicans, Democrats don't, obviously. Republicans protect trans kids. Trans kids belong in sports. No, they don't. Not in the opposite sex. By the way, Republicans, trans kids don't exist. They don't. They never had up to recently. You know what does exist? Dumb and evil people who care for these kids and control these kids and abuse these kids and mutilate these kids because of their ideology. Trans kids don't exist, just stupid people and evil people. Democrats are promoting this rot of society, of the fabric of society. Republicans, no boys and girl sports or showers or potties. Democrats are the ones that are, their battle cry, this is part of their battle cry, is to force boys into girls' showers and boys into girls' sports. That's them. Think about stuff like this. That's why I say unapologetically, save America, save Texas, stop voting Democrat. Time is 9:26. The Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV, Thursday edition. This hour service of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com.
Coming up after the Sergio Show, stay tuned for the Dana Lash Show starting at 11, followed by the Brian Kilmeade Show at 2 on Newstalk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potterme app.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz. Are you having difficulty getting answers from federal agencies? My office is here to help. Call us at 956-800-6069 to share your issue, and we will be in touch. Team De La Cruz is here to serve you. God bless. Paid for with official funds from the office of Congresswoman De La Cruz.
Hear that? That's Alka-Seltzer, the sound of fast heartburn relief. Because when heartburn hits, you want something that works fast. Quick! Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets start neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Next time when that burning feeling comes on strong, don't wait. Quick! Alka-Seltzer. Try Alka-Seltzer. Use as directed.
Our mom accomplished so much in her life. She was a great mother, wife, and school teacher. She amazed so many. When we lost her, we were so very sad, but comforted that she had pre-planned her funeral with the fine people at McCaleb Funeral Home. A live celebration would tell her big story.
Hi, I am Carla McCaleb. Along with my husband Mark and our caring staff, we know we are in the healing business because we hear it from families we serve. Please read our reviews about our life celebrations and fair and transparent prices for unmatched service and how we lift people up with our healing care and compassion, celebrating lives since 1963.
The Valley's only life celebration home. To learn more about the choices you can make now so a future funeral becomes more of a celebration of life, call Carla at 956-650-2841, 956-650-2841, or visit their website, McCalebFuneralHome.com.
Thank you, Weslaco, and thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening today to News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's official home for Fox News Radio.
Time is 9:28. The Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV is a service this hour of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com. The threat to our nation comes from radical, just unhinged, no common sense, lunatic leftists. And there's one on the ballot here in Texas that's running for Senate. And because people work for a living, again, in my monologue, I'm looking at how we are the problem. Voters are the problem because we go to the polls uninformed. Like for those of you who go to the polls and you're okay with communist sympathizers, the Bernie Sanders types, you believe in all these failed, stupid, murderous ideas. Yes, murder, because communism has led to the murder, the death of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of human beings across the country, has seized the liberty for generations, from Cuba to the old Soviet Union, from Vietnam to Laos, all these places, Venezuela, most recent, heavy-handed central government communist in Venezuela, that once they get into power, they don't give it up. Once they get into power, they make sure they take the citizens' guns away, because the citizens could someday revolt and say, no, we don't like this. This ain't working. This centralized decision-making stuff ain't working for us. We're going to revolt and we're going to kill the communists. No, they make sure the communists make sure that they take the guns away so you can't kill them. And it takes a revolution to finally get back your liberty. Be careful. As I put that little phrase on my X page. Heaven, you can leave heaven anytime. You enter heaven, you can leave heaven anytime if you wish. But hell, once it has you in its clutches, will never let you go. The threat to our nation, it's an existential question. When you go vote, are you informed enough? You should be informed enough to make the right decision, to not vote stupidly, to not vote against your best interest, the best interest of your children and grandchildren. That's why I say stop voting Democrat. We have a lot of idiots on the ballot. Some know-nothings. Some know-nothings who are better in other industries and maybe have a good heart or well-intentioned. But being well-intentioned, it means that you will be swayed by whatever political wind is popular. The threat are communist sympathizers, the Bernie Sanders ignorant types, the gender confused, as I mentioned, or the blasphemous heretics that are out there on the ballot right now. Who this day, James Tallarico is now a criminal sympathizer. In the news was the case of Carmelo Anthony. It's coming up here in a little bit. Carmelo Anthony, this black kid who stabbed a white kid at some track and field event just for nothing, for just the kid just flew off the handle for no reason. They had a confrontation, an argument. This black kid, stabs this white kid in the heart, just boom, right in the heart, like killing Dracula. This black kid was convicted, and his punishment, 30 some odd years in jail. Oh, there will be an appeal like there always is an appeal. But listen to the lack of common sense, reasoning, racist point of view of James Tallarico, he was on the Breakfast Club, which is a black morning show, right? It's like is that like a syndicated show, Freddie? Yeah. Right? Anyway, here's James Tallarico.
Texas, we see what happened with Carmelo Anthony, and you said it was a tragedy.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I've done a lot of work in the State House on justice reform, and right now we've got a system that doesn't serve all Americans equally, and we know that black Texans have not gotten the justice they deserve in many cases. And I'm not an expert on this particular case, but I know that there were no black members of the jury. And to me, that's the only evidence you need to really prove that this system is not working.
Oh my goodness! Why? Because black Americans, they think different. They're in a different frequency. They don't know what murder is, cold-blooded murder is. They can't reason that way. They're what? Is he saying they're not as intelligent? Let's review his words real quick.
On justice reform, and right now we've got a system that doesn't serve all Americans equally, and we know that black Texans have not gotten the justice they deserve.
Carmelo Anthony got the justice he deserved. In fact, he probably deserved more justice than what he received, 30 years. This kid's going to be out when he's a 40-year-old man. Probably a mess. That's it. No, that was a Texas case, right, Freddie? Oh, no. He'll be out in half the punishment. He'll be out in 15 years. He'll be a 30-some-odd-year-old man by the time he gets out. That's not justice. Cold-blooded murder, stabbing a kid in the heart like that for no reason whatsoever.
In many cases. And, I'm not an expert on this particular case, but
everybody in the public is. We've been paying attention to the facts. Representative.
Know that there were no black members of the jury.
And that's it. That's the reason. No one black person, because they think differently than we do. They're not as intelligent. They can't see the facts for themselves and make a common sense decision. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, that's what Tallarico's saying. Yeah. That they can't make a judgment call. They can't see murder. They can't reason properly, make common sense decisions on what is murder. That's what Tallarico is saying. Time is 9:35. The Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV. This hour of the program, the service of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com.
If you want to keep your storefront as it is, well, that's your business. If you want a beautiful new storefront, now that's our business. With Refresh 50/50. Refresh 50/50 is the City of McAllen's grant program that offers up to $25,000 in matching funds to beautify your storefront. Refresh 50/50 provides funds for improvements like new doors and windows, exterior paintings and art projects, and repair or removal of old signs and awnings. Add new lighting to enhance your storefront, install permanent landscaping, or finally repair roofs, stucco, and other parts of your exterior. The City of McAllen increased Refresh 50/50 grants to $25,000 to help more small businesses grow. Over 100 McAllen businesses have been helped. Restaurants, retail, and more. Let us help you. Contact the City of McAllen Office of Retail and Business Development at 681-1001 or apply at refresh5050.com.
Are you in the market for a new Toyota or pre-owned Toyota? Look no further than Toyota of Far. They have extensive selection of Toyota cars and Toyota trucks and Toyota SUVs, along with exceptional customer service every step of the way. Number to call, 956-815-2285.
Looking for a flexible part-time opportunity with a fun, fast-paced media company? Radio United is hiring a part-time sales coordinator. If you are organized, enjoy working with people, and have great computer and communication skills, bilingual preferred, we'd love to meet you. Help support our sales team, work with local businesses, and be a part of a company that connects communities every day. Apply now by sending your resume to human resources at radiounited.com. Join our team and help make an impact. Radio United is an equal opportunity employer.
The 710 KURV People Poll, made possible by Total Imaging Solutions. Their customers have 99.3% of problems fixed within 4 hours.
Freedom is calling, and the savings are bigger than ever at the Toyota Far Freedom Sales Event. Drive home an all-new Tacoma for just $92 a month, a powerful Tundra for $177 a month, a stylish Camry for only $92 a month, or a versatile RAV4 for just $189 a month. Visit Toyota Far at 1625 West Interstate 2 in Far, shop online at toyotafar.com or call 956-815-2285.
Toyota Far, somos buena gente.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. Mostly sunny skies today, becoming windier. Highs from 100 to 106. South-southeast winds at 12 to 25 miles an hour. Breezy this evening. Clear to partly cloudy, warm and humid. Lows dropping down into the lower 80s with the southeast wind still at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, breezy and hot Friday. Highs from 100 to 107. Hazy sun Saturday. Highs 101 to 106. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Supporters of the Massachusetts mom on trial for murdering her children dressed in pink standing hand-in-hand outside Plymouth Superior Court this morning.
Because it's mental health. She wasn't in her right frame of mind.
That woman traveling from New York City, the case is nearing its end. A change of address for a member of the British royal family.
Prince Harry, wife Meghan Markle, and their children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, returning to the UK to set up house outside of London. This after some 6 years away. In 2020, Harry and Meghan said they'd step back as senior members of the royals and move to California.
That is Fox's Greg Palcott reporting. Ebola-ravaged Eastern Congo will receive 70,000 doses of the Ervebo vaccine, which has been effective in the past for Ebola outbreaks, the WHO said. Nearly 2,500 people have died in this outbreak. America's listening to Fox News.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez. Rapid fire headlines.
Remember the Carmelo Anthony case, North Texas? You know, that black teen convicted of stabbing that white teenage boy, that high school student. Both teenagers, both had some track and field meet up in Frisco. So they had some type of running. You're not supposed to be here. I'm going to be here. What? Anger flares up, and Carmelo Anthony stabs the dead right in the heart, man. Stabs his white kid. The jury has spoken, and guilty, and the punishment like 30 some odd years. Well, as in all cases, there will be an appeal. And the judge in that case, in the original case, that judge is not going to hear the appeal.
Well, a new judge will be assigned to the Anthony murder case. That doesn't mean that Carmelo will necessarily get a new trial. That, according to Dallas defense attorney Ray Hindier, who is not associated with this case. He says it all comes down to a deal that the prosecution and defense made before the trial began.
Bill Worski, the prosecutor, did not allow, by agreement with the defense, for them to get into certain aspects of the character of the victim. But then when they wanted to call Carmelo Anthony as a witness in his own right, I think the prosecution said they were going to get into character evidence with Carmelo, and that was obviously not the defense's understanding.
He says because the deal agreement was broken, Anthony wasn't called to the stand in his own defense, which affected the outcome of the case. Hindier believes there's a 50-50 chance a new trial is granted.
That's reporter Austin York. Business note, there's a growing push by the federal government to crack down on immigrant truck drivers.
That effort is being praised by Texas cops. Major Omar Villarreal with DPS told lawmakers this week that non-English speakers have been exploiting a loophole to get behind the wheel.
We started seeing an upward trend in commercial vehicle crashes with these drivers.
He says that in 2021, Mexico went to a digital commercial license, and that, he says, opened the door to fraud. Immigrants would bribe Mexican officials to get their certification, even though they had not been trained to be a trucker. Michael Board, News Talk 710 KURV.
That's mi Mexico. It is part corruption at every level. That's the DNA of mi Mexico. Again. There's corruption here at county, at school districts. There's corruption here in Washington, D.C. at the highest levels of government. But in Mexico, they have a very exclusive brand of corruption. La mordida, right? La mordida. Goes back generations. Let's see what else is here. Let's shift gears a little bit. Freddie, month of August is National Hair Loss Awareness Month. We have a special lunar event happening next week, and NASA is turning it into a science experiment.
The next full moon will also have a partial lunar eclipse, and that will make the moon look red, but it's just an illusion. The Sturgeon moon will reach peak illumination just after 9 p.m. on the West Coast on August 27th. No special equipment needed to watch the moon orbit through Earth's shadow. Just look up. And while you're doing that, NASA will use orbiters to measure rapid surface temperature shifts on the moon. They say that data will help them engineer future lunar habitats. I'm Bree Tennis.
Time is 9:43. The Sergio Show on 710 KURV, made possible this hour by Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. From Fox News, my friend Evan Brown is following the case from North Texas. Remember Carmelo Anthony? Well, that name always reminds him. I remember that name in sports, but yeah, the Carmelo Anthony, that kid in North Texas, a black kid who killed a white kid. They were at some sort of track meet, something like that. And it's done. This kid has been found guilty, Carmelo Anthony. And I think the punishment was like 30 some odd years in jail. And there's an appeal. And now the judge on that, the original judge, has been removed from the appeal. Okay, so let's get all the latest on the drama related to this. Evan Brown, Fox News following. So what can you tell us this morning, Evan?
Well, good morning. Today there will be a hearing with a new judge about a possible retrial, and the defense will make their case that the previous trial was flawed and that there ought to be a do-over. This is one day after the original judge was recused by a reviewing judge who agreed that there would be a question of the impartiality of the judge, considering how the judge gave an interview after the trial and essentially sided with the prosecution. And so while he expressed that the judge himself is an impartial and very good judge, there could be questions about that impartiality just by kind of looking from the outside in. So therefore, there is a new judge coming onto the case, and that person will be hearing will be overseeing the hearing today, where they will ask for a new trial.
Okay. So aside from the fact that the trial results did not turn out the way the defense wanted, have they said what was wrong with the trial? Or
Yes,
is that
actually, they
okay.
have.
Okay.
Their concerns are a couple of things. One, that judge was kept out a lot of the public out of the courtroom. Didn't allow for a live broadcast of the trial. Essentially impacted Carmelo Anthony's ability to have a public proceeding. And now the judge would later say that was because there was so much social media attention being played to the case that it was really affecting the community from which they were going to pull a jury. So that was the reasoning for that. However, the defense argues that impacted their ability to get a fair trial. On top of that, they are going to argue, or expected to argue, that the jurors were not properly instructed on how to or what to consider with regard to certain pieces of evidence. And that could be a real concern. They'd have to make that argument, rather succinctly but forcefully to get this new judge to agree. They'd have to demonstrate why those instructions were either improper or unspecific or whatever the case may be. But that's how they are proceeding or expected to proceed today.
I'm wondering how much money was raised, crowdfunded for Carmelo Anthony.
A lot of money. I believe it was in excess at some point of $500,000. I think, maybe closer to 700,000. A lot of money that they were able to raise for the defense. The family was able to do that. There is the racial component on this, which has sort of encircled it, and it has led to racial activists outside the courthouse chanting this and chanting that. But race never really came up during the proceedings. Neither the prosecution nor the defense made race an issue about this. And yes, Austin Metcalf was white, and Carmelo Anthony is black. But neither side would contend that there was a race matter here. Some of the outside commentary focused on the all-white jury. But the trial attorneys themselves didn't, as far as I know.
Okay. Thank you, Evan, for the report. That's Evan Brown for Fox News.
Calling all truck drivers, fleet owners, logistics professionals, and future CDL drivers. Don't miss the 3rd Annual FAR International Bridge Truck Expo on Friday, August 28th at the Bert Ogden Arena in Edinburgh from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. Explore the latest trucks and equipment. Connect with industry experts. Discover job opportunities. Attend trade sessions. Enter raffles and learn about CDL enrollment. Drive your future forward at the 3rd Annual FAR International Bridge Truck Expo. Presented by the FAR International Bridge.
Are you in the market for a new Toyota or pre-owned Toyota? Look no further than Toyota of FAR. They have extensive selection of Toyota cars and Toyota trucks and Toyota SUVs, along with exceptional customer service every step of the way. Number to call, 956-815-2285.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
The UTRGV Vaqueros are back at home on Ultra 90.1, where you hear play-by-play. Congratulations, Vaqueros.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
Time is 9:50, the Sergio Show on 710 KURV. Thank you to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com. Thank you for this hour of the program. In the event of a tropical system hurricane, 710 KURV is your go-to station in South Texas. emergency management chiefs, the county judges who make a decision on evacuation or not, sandbag distribution, all that stuff. 710 KURV Tropical Coverage 2026. Thank you to our many supporters, including the gang over at Lee's Pharmacy and Vega Roofing. In the studio and here at KURV and also online at YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and X Live. I got it right. Right, Freddie? Okay, all those three live. You can rewind, get information. See, that's the benefit of doing the social media stuff. You miss something, you can rewind and get a phone number, email, things like that. We have Make-A-Wish in the studio. Make-A-Wish of the Rio Grande Valley. Erica de la Cruz is with us, and Jeremy Smith.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. When's the last time you were here?
It's been about 2 years,
okay.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were having a private conversation on some of the kids who qualify for Make-A-Wish. So Make-A-Wish, everybody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, Erica, it's not necessarily a child that is, like on life support or about to die. It's,
Correct. So we're not a last wish.
Okay.
We're a wish that provides hope, strength, and joy. So our children have critical illness. They're either progressive, malignant, or degenerative. So they're going through a really rough patch in their medical journey. And we want to bring them joy through the power of a wish.
on September 12th at Tres Lagos, real pretty, Tres Lagos Park, North McAllen, on September 12th. I'm guessing that's a Saturday, right?
It is.
Okay, good. So at 8 in the morning, Walk for Wishes, annual fundraiser for our chapter here in the RGV for Make-A-Wish, which has been around for about 30 years, you tell me.
Yes, we're going to celebrate 30 years in February of next year.
How many what kilos have we blessed?
1,800 plus.
1,800. Wow. The reason this fundraiser is taking place, this Walk for Wishes is taking place. Big thanks to the Rhodes family, the developer in the area. Thank you to Mott's Building Materials. We got Jeremy Smith in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
What does it mean to you, brother?
This is our not 30th year, but third year participating in the event.
Yeah.
First year, we were just a participant. The last 2 years, we've been partnering with Rhodes and Esperanza to make this happen. Last year was our first year seeing, it was really when it touched me as far as seeing the response the kids have, looking in their eyes and seeing what it does for them. And even seeing some kids that their wish came true last year and seeing how they're doing now, how upbeat they are. Just, it's life-changing.
And you ran it too.
I kind of did. Yeah, I did my best, and it was like we talked about. I paid the price, but this year, it's about the participation, but it's more about the making the wishes come true.
Praying and hoping for some cloud cover on September 12th. The weather's too nasty right now to be doing.
Oh, it would be great to have some even a little drizzle would be okay.
No lightning.
No lightning.
That's true. And good thing it's in the morning, right?
Yes,
you should be done like by 9:30 or 10, something like that, right?
For sure.
Correct.
Okay. How do you register?
So you can register online. You can go to our website at wish.org/RGV. You will click on events. You'll see the Walk for Wishes logo there, and then you can register there. You can also find us on our Facebook page, and there's a link there that you can also register. They all take you to the same place. It's $40 per person, or you can create your team. And now this is also free for any Wish families or siblings, parents. They can register for free, but for the public, it is a $40 donation.
There you go. With Make-A-Wish of the Rio Grande Valley. That's Erica de la Cruz. We got Jeremy Smith from Mott's Building Materials, one of the funders of this big fundraiser that's taking place on September 12th, 8 in the morning at Tres Lagos Park. Real pretty, Tres Lagos Park in North McAllen. Be a part of it. $40 donation, $40 to be a part of it. Get the swag, get the really nice T-shirt.
Yes.
And is this going to be like this color? That's what it is?
Yes, correct. That is the T-shirt right there.
You should see it real pretty. That's purple, right? I'm getting a little
It's a blue, a Make-A-Wish blue. It looks, it's a little glossy on here.
A little colorblind. But it's real nice swag, and that's what you get for participating with this. Some of the wishes that are on the schedule for you. What's coming up? Some of the wishes.
So Disney is still our number one wish, but surprisingly, right next to it this year, we've had a lot of shopping sprees, online, in store. We do limit them to 3 hours of shopping, but those kids can get those shopping. Actually, we have one going on right now in McAllen. This morning, our wish granter Andrea is out there. with one of our Wish kiddos, and they just love shopping. They can get anything they want for their bedroom, electronics, clothing, shoes,
Toys?
you
Really?
name it. Yes.
Over 3 hours.
For 3 hours of shopping.
They pick one store.
Well, they can pick at least 3 stores of three of their favorite stores. We do have some out there that go above and beyond, which I heard this morning was going to be pretty cool. I think there was going to be a band or something like that because a little girl liked corridos.
Okay.
So it just depends on the store, the people, the associates there. They're amazing. They always want to make sure that, she could have chosen anything, any store, and they chose this store.
I mean, go figure, a trip to Disney is thousands of dollars. It's very expensive. So translate that to just the shopping spree. Well, you get some stuff for, like I said, bedroom.
So it's based on their age, and it goes up to about $4,500 on a shopping spree.
Okay, so that's
tax exempt.
I was going to ask you, there's got to be like a dollar limit on this.
There is a limit. We do have limits based on age. But I mean, it's almost as equivalent to Disney sometimes because we do try to get a lot of in-kind for flights. So donate your airline miles. We'll take them if they're going to expire. So that's the way we try to save money.
Freddie, you know me good enough to know where would I go if I go to the store and fill up the shopping cart? Yeah.
Oh, we've done some of those at the
I'd
Lego
go straight
store.
for the Lego section and just dump all the boxes in there. I say, tally up, hit me up to 4,500.
Oh, that would maybe about 20 boxes. No, I don't know. It depends.
The way Legos are priced, be like 2-3 boxes these days. With the Make-A-Wish of the Rio Grande Valley is Erica de la Cruz. My friend Jeremy Smith with Mott's Building Materials, one of the sponsors for Walk for Wishes that takes place on September 12th, Saturday, September 12th at 8 in the morning at Tres Lagos Park. Can people just show up and, drop $40 and participate, or should they pre-register?
Well, if they want a t-shirt, they should pre-register now. We will take some registrants that day, but there's no guarantee on the t-shirt or the size if you go that day.
You had said there's some other things for families to do there?
So yes, there will be a petting zoo and face painting, and we'll have other vendors and things like that out there available for the community. I know Tres Lagos also has their food trucks there in the morning if you enjoy that early. So come out and join us.
And Mott's will have a booth. We'll be giving shirts away, caps away. We'll have all kinds of giveaways. So come by and enjoy. Whether you're going to participate and run in the event or not, it could be fun for the family.
Absolutely.
How do you choose who the next child will be? Because I would imagine you have several requests on the table.
So it's all based on their medical illness. When the child comes in and they decide on that wish, we try to grant that wish as soon as medically possible. So we're not holding back on wishes, thank goodness, because we've always had great community partners like Mott's and Rhodes that help us grant these wishes. And so these children are, as soon as their wish is medically approved, we move forward with their wish.
Okay.
So we're not holding back for further wishes.
This is, of course, a good fundraiser.
Correct.
You have another big event, though.
Yes, we do, in October.
Okay.
That is our Wine for Wishes, and that's going to be in South Padre Island.
Okay. Also, how about another, like a banquet or get-together or
we do
gala or something like that?
Well, we have a lot of things coming up because one of the things about Make-A-Wish is we do have to raise our funding within the Rio Grande Valley. And we have to be able to sustain ourselves. So we will be celebrating our 30 years. So we will have an event in February at Sidebar, and then we have our gala on May the 1st.
Okay. Come back and tell us about those big events.
Absolutely.
Meantime, September 12th at Tres Lagos, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Register now for Walk for Wishes, $40 per participant. Of course, that will help you get the swag for the event. Really nice shirt and really nice medal for that. Erica, thank you. Call back anytime.
You.
All right. Jeremy, thank you. God bless you, brother, for your support of this great ministry. This is the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV. This hour of the program, a service of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com.
History's unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
They put out the welcome mat in Africa. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 20 people kicked out of the U.S. in the Trump deportation push arrived today in Liberia, which has agreed to accept 1,200 illegal immigrants removed from America. And while they're from other countries, Liberia will let them seek asylum there. A boat captain in New York who's here illegally may also be sent packing by Homeland Security.
The feds tell us he crossed the border back in 2007. How did he get in? Well, they say he just lied to agents and told them he was an American citizen. Now, Manuel Ernesto Hernandez Humano is in federal custody. He's accused of running an illegal boat charter tour in New York Harbor. And they say this was going on for quite some time. Earlier this month, one of those tours turned deadly. The boat capsized, killed a 27-year-old mom and her 5-month-old baby.
Fox's Alexis McAdams in Virginia. A man on U.S. illegally is charged with murder, accused of stabbing a woman to death on Monday. Testimony's over already today at Lindsay Clancy's triple murder trial in Plymouth, Massachusetts, after a final defense witness.
The defense is arguing that Lindsay Clancy was hearing voices that told her to kill herself and her children, and therefore she was going through a postpartum psychosis temporary that caused her to kill her children. She did not know what she was doing was wrong.
Fox's Brian Yanis outside the court where hundreds of Clancy supporters wore pink, standing hand in hand this morning. Iran is pushing back to President Trump's threat to carry out a new operation he calls an economic D-Day, saying it would only lead to further U.S. defeat. This amid stalled talks over Iran's nuclear program in the Strait of Hormuz.
Regional intelligence sources tell Fox News that there are growing indications of economic hardship inside of Iran as a result of the U.S. naval blockade and economic isolation. Reports indicate that inflation in Iran has reached 89%. The conflict is clearly shifting to economic warfare, and the question now is whether or not this pressure will lead to a deal or a return to war.
That's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The man accused of attacking the White House Correspondents' Dinner at a Washington hotel in April, Cole Allen, was back in court this morning for a hearing. No trial date has yet been set. Allen is charged with attempting to assassinate the president and other counts, accused of trying to run past security and firing a shot that wounded a Secret Service agent. We mentioned deportations and the Trump illegal immigration crackdown. Well, a hearing has been set in federal court in Texas in a challenge to a section of border wall.
A federal restraining order is halting plans to build more border wall through Big Bend National Park in Texas. Protesters say construction will disrupt delicate ecology and that protective laws were improperly waived.
It's not about walls. It's more about the roads, the destruction of the canyon. You just can't fix a blown-up canyon.
Randy Bradford is a former park ranger. Crystal Albright lives nearby.
Our sheriffs and our border patrol work really well together. When 31 laws were waived and contractors came in with no bid contracts, that was our big concern.
A hearing is set for next week in San Antonio. Evan Brown, Fox News.
We got an employment update this morning.
New unemployment claims remain subdued. Last week, claims declined to 206,000, down from the previous week, and suggesting companies are still not conducting widespread layoffs. Continuing claims, those remaining on benefits for the week of August 8th, came in at 1.79 million, up slightly, but close to economists' predictions. The Philadelphia Federal Reserve's manufacturing index for this month jumped to a 5-year high at 47.4. Economists were expecting some pullback from a strong reading in July.
And that's Fox's Ginny Casola. On Wall Street, they're selling. The Dow is down 260 points. Dragged lower in part by Walmart. The retailer stock is down 9% after an earnings report showing sales a little worse than expected. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Our riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common?
Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. Mostly sunny skies today, becoming windier. Highs from 100 to 106. South-southeast winds at 12 to 25 miles an hour. Breezy this evening. Clear to partly cloudy, warm and humid. Lows dropping down into the lower 80s with the southeast wind still at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, breezy and hot Friday. Highs from 100 to 107. Hazy sun Saturday. Highs 101 to 106. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Jay Gonzalez, the Valley's top lawyer with over 20 years of experience. Jay Gonzalez is simply the best. If you've been injured in a crash, call 1-800-CAR-CRASH today.
Summer is almost over, but your chance to become a millionaire isn't. Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant has already made 2 lucky Rewards Club members millionaires this summer. And there's still $1 million prize left. Is it yours? Your final chance to bring home $1 million cash is on August 22nd. So play with your Rewards Club card to earn entries for the grand finale drawing. Get away to it all at Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant, where millionaires are made.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. People don't trust car buyers. People think the price is going to be wrong, and people think it's going to be a hassle. Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is what we do at GiveMeTheVin.com, and that's what makes us America's best car buyer. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now and get a quote on yours.
Sell us your car. .com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Happy Thursday, hour 2 of the program, made possible by South Texas Buick GMC, and big thank you to Lone Star National Bank on this National Radio Day. Appreciate you. If you're listening on the radio, thank you. Now, I tell you every day because, well, the original storytellers, that'd be radio, whether it's the FM jocks entertaining you in the morning, saying all sorts of silly stuff and killing your brain cells, and sometimes bringing up interesting topics about life. Not everything's about politics and serious stuff. Or, you guys tuning into talk radio, news radio. It's a different breed. Talk radio as well. Thank you for joining us on the radio, especially with a new generation that does not recognize or doesn't know what radio is. How far back would you say it started, Freddie? What, in the 90s maybe? When we had the sites like the Spotify's and other sites that were collecting music, and you'd be able to subscribe in late 90s maybe, early 2000s, where a la carte, you'd get the music, get your playlist. It all started, I suppose it started with what would you call it? The little Apple little devices. Remember what I already forgot what we called those things, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the little cartridges, the MP3 cartridges, right? That you'd load. No, not AirPods. Better that. See, you can't even remember. I've been thinking for a few minutes. What did we call those things? Anyway, the MP3 little Apple devices. Yeah, MP3 players. I suppose the a la carte. Let me get my own music. I guess you can go all the way back to cassettes where you have a collection of songs and cassettes, but the MP3 players made it a whole lot easier. And then you have the websites, the Spotify's of the world, and the other music services of the world. And people thought, radio is going to disappear someday. No, it's not. There's an iPod. Thank you. There's iPods. No, it's not. Now, the brands, and some of them are really slow to get going with this. The KTRH types, the WBAP types. I'm talking Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, OAI, that's iHeart, KTSA, Alpha. For you guys who are radio nerds, you know what I'm talking about. The transition, the lifeboat to cyberspace, where they must, on a daily basis, hop aboard with the most popular, consumed social media platforms, as long as they allow radio and television to do that. That is the lifeboat. Because they do it. The program directors, the jocks, FM jocks. You're a great DJ, by the way, Freddie. You're a great DJ. Yeah. Well, what are you jockeying? What discs are you jockeying over there?
I don't see any discs over here.
You're spinning the news radio hits. That's what you're doing. Spinning
it's all digital now.
Yeah. Social media is the lifeboat. It has been for the longest time. We just happen to be out of the gate a lot earlier than others, kind of forcing the issue. And eventually, KURV will be a brand on social media if the owners of the station decide to continue with it. And they will continue with it only if you do what you're currently doing, which is to monetize it. How so? By supporting folks who are faithful to this brand. Like in other markets, they're faithful to their brands up in the news talk stations. So it will survive that major, and it'd be ironic because KURV as a brand, KURV is the radio brand, the licensed through federal government brand, and it will be the brand on social media for us to follow, like the big guys up in Houston. But they're slower to get out of the gate. That's where the industry will survive. On this National Radio Day, I want to say thank you, all of you who support us. Thank you who listen, who engage. And thank you for those who comment. Thank you for those who visit the studio. Thank you for making radio a continuous, and hopefully for many, many more generations, a profitable and business success. We're laughing a bit. Jeremy Smith, we're chuckling, and Jeremy Smith from Mott's Buildings. Yeah, let's go to break. Let's go to commercial break. Yeah, that's how it's paid. You listen to me flap my gums for a few minutes. And then we announce our supporters, what they have going on, what sales they're inviting you to activities, and then we come back with programming. Let me see here. I need to go to our guest, Freddie. Let me pivot, and because I'm going to run out of time. Time is 10:12. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. This hour of the program is service of South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you to Lone Star National Bank. Look at the calendar. Decision 2026. It is on the way, and soon enough, you are going to be pelted left and right on your phone, on the internet channel you see on TV, radio, whatever it is you're consuming. Commercials. Let's see how well the GOP does this go around. They're going to need a game saver in several races, and the GOP is going to somehow miraculously will need to become real good at something they have sucked at forever and a day, going back to the frustration when I was chairman back in 2014, 2018, down here in South Texas. My goodness, you guys have worked so hard. Some of y'all listening in have worked so hard to make Texas red, the border red, and my goodness, to hear rumors that we might be losing some of the ground that we gained, it really scares me. It frustrates me. Let me bring in someone who's watching all this from the sidelines, but also did us a favor and put something out there for us to consume. Jacob Lane is a GOP strategist. He's a strategist. He's been looking at politics for the longest time. And we must learn now to message and own the message and the branding. Jacob Lane, welcome to the program. Let's start there. Branding, how successful the damn Democrats have been at labeling Republicans and conservatives as rich, elitist, out of touch, and of late, like what they've done to Donald Trump, pedo and all that stupid stuff. But I see people ignorantly repeating on social media comments, you're defending pedophiles. Oh, my goodness. People have very short attention spans, and they don't have a lot of time to consume information, and somehow the Republicans need to do a better job right now. So let's start there, brother.
Absolutely. And Sergio, thanks for having me on. And you forgot one, too. You forgot Bible thumping. Remember?
Yeah, that was old.
Bring into our guns and religion. So that was the big one. So who could forget Hillary basket of deplorables? So they have all these great hits. But the thing about their hits is they stick. People listen to them. And for whatever reason, the RNC, the Republican Senate Committee, the House Republican Campaign Committee, they just can't get on the same page. They are just all over the place right now in terms of messaging. You look at some of the candidates, some want to talk about Trump's accomplishments. That's great. Some want to talk about the economy. Some want to talk about border security. Some want to talk about social issues. But there's not a single coherent message uniting them. And that's damning to voters, because as you and I both know, they're not gonna pay attention. They're not gonna spend 4 hours looking through policy papers and positions to see where these folks stand on something. It's like brands. The reason you buy something is you trust in that brand. And right now, the Republicans, they don't do a good job promoting their brand. I really don't know what it is, because the RNC does such a terrible job at it.
And on top of that, let's go back to that adage, it's the economy, stupid. And it is, because that's the number one topic. Problem is that folks they just don't understand how inflation is natural to the economic processes. But what was unnatural was the mismanagement of the economy, supply chain, and the creation of all this monopoly money that led to 25-30% inflation that we are still suffering from. It will never go back to what it was before, and people don't understand that. And it's really hard to fight that inflation message. Yes, you got a war, you got oil prices that are a bit higher, gas prices that are a bit higher, but people, they just don't see that, and they don't consume enough information to understand that what we have is literally mentally ill, anti-Semites, pro-Islamic, confusion peddling, trans peddling lunatics that are the well of societal rot is the modern Democrat Party, and they don't see any of that or the danger of voting Democrat. My battle cry is stop voting Democrat. Stop giving them power. Do not give them power. People don't see that. All they see is the price of flour, cereal, milk, eggs, beef. Beef has its own problems right now. Eggs, that's all they see. They don't see beyond the dangers of that issue and them going to the polls and thinking they're going to get cheaper eggs by voting Democrat. What they're going to get is the destruction of the American fabric, American culture, if they vote Democrat.
I couldn't have said it better. And I mean, like you said, these people are anti-God. They're anti-American. Many of them are socialists / communists that are hell-bent on America's destruction. And what I always tell people is that this is not the Democratic Party of your father or your grandfather. I used to always say this isn't the party of JFK. It's now not even the party of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. I mean, at least Bill Clinton, along with Republicans, reformed welfare. They wouldn't even touch that issue today.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a party, like you said, and this is, Sergio, this is what we have to do. We have to remind people what is at stake. If you want men and boys and girls and women's sports, you vote for these folks. If you want the Supreme Court packed, you vote for these folks. If you want D.C. admitted as a state and for the Democrats to get a 2-seat advantage in the Senate and another seat in the House, you vote Democratic. You know, some of these issues, I mean, it's insane how out of touch these issues are from the average American, and how just a few years ago, these issues would have been totally disqualifying to a person. And I want to say something too. Republicans are falling into this trap. I don't know if you paid attention a few weeks ago to the primary in Wisconsin, where you had Francesca Hong, who was the DSA candidate, and she was running against a guy named David Crawley. Crawley ended up prevailing in that race. He's the executive for Milwaukee, for Milwaukee County up in Wisconsin. So, and he won by about a point. And in the press the day after, and the Republicans fell into this trap. They're like, well, the moderate won. Crawley's not a moderate. Crawley agrees with everything that Hong agreed with. The only thing that Crawley does differently is he doesn't go on TikTok and make videos bashing Thanksgiving. He still thinks that boys and men should compete in women's sports. He still wants to raise taxes. He still wants to pack the Supreme Court. He still wants to defund ICE. He wants to open the borders. There's no moderates left in that party. The only moderate they have is John Fetterman, who, quite frankly, probably the next go around will probably be with Republicans.
What happened to the nation's midsection? For the longest time, some people might say it's a very racist statement, but for years now, I've been saying that Midwest white libs, and especially the women, will be the destruction of this great nation. What's in the water in Wisconsin or the 10,000 lakes in Minnesota? They've gone crazy. They've surrendered our nation for the longest time now, for years. What's wrong with those people in the Midwest?
Look, I asked that question. I was born and raised in Illinois, so I'll accept your condolences right now for being from Illinois. But I mean, no, like you said, Sergio, there's a lot of good people in those states, but it's just, you know what it is? It's just the hatred of Trump. It just drives people, this Trump derangement syndrome. It drives them to leave reality at the door. So they look past everything, and it's like, well, if I vote for, let's use Graham Planter as an example. I know he's no longer on the ballot, but if I vote for the guy with the Nazi tattoo for 20 years who was accused of rape, I'm voting against the orange man in the White House. And that makes me feel good because I'm sending a message to him. That's what it is. It's Trump derangement syndrome at its finest.
Yeah, all their ideas and their lunacy is amplified as a result of their Trump derangement syndrome. I invite you to go to the Newsmax website. Go to Newsmax and look for his article, GOP Must Start Defining Democrats. Stop Playing Defense, article by Jacob Lane, GOP strategist right now. James Tallarico, as I call him, Talafrico, because he is a freak, or as we say in Spanish, Telocico, which is short terms, shut your mouth. This guy, he's 180 degrees polar opposite to everything that Texas stands for. I'm thinking the good thing with Talafrico is that there's plenty of audio and video of him saying just lunatic, crazy things that should put the political noose around his neck. I'm waiting to see the barrage of those videos and commercials and audio commercials from the Paxton campaign. So that's all he needs, is just show the public who this guy is and why he should not be the senator of Texas.
You're exactly right. Use these people's words against them. Remember Talafrico. I like that. I hadn't heard that. I like that one. But I always say he's Beto O'Rourke 2.0. But I actually think Beto was more sane though than Talarico, which is saying something. Which is saying something. But forget, Talarico was the guy who said that the Bible actually allowed abortion on demand. I mean, say these things. He said that the southern border should be a welcome mat. Remember when he was in the one interview and they said, "What do you love? Trans kids?" I mean, who says things like this? Yeah. I mean, this is just crazy. We've got to do the same thing up in Michigan with Abdul al-Sayed up there, who basically said that Israel doesn't have a right to exist. He wants to defund ICE, stop all cooperation with ICE, that he's going to end private insurance, health insurance. Use these people's words against them. We have to. I mean, otherwise, we're going to lose the country. I mean, I want to tell people, I understand Republicans are frustrated. I totally understand. There's a lot of things that haven't been done in this administration that I would have liked to have seen done, namely the SAVE Act. But you have to remember that if they take control of either chamber, it's over. It's done.
They showed their cards, dude. They were 2 votes away. Had it not been for Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, they would have gone 50+1, gotten rid of the filibuster. And like you said, D.C., Puerto Rico estates, packed the courts, everything, including, I believe, the prosecution of individuals who use the wrong pronoun, all that stuff that we see, all the prosecution overseas and posting hate online and the prosecution of people who post comments or share comments online, like in Britain, that would have been the law of the land in America. That is scary. We're one election away. And because they showed their cards, we have a bunch of noodle spine, coward Republicans not willing to do the same for the Save America Act. I'll let you have the last word, brother.
Well, no, and I agree with you. And, it's funny, Sergio, I've always said that the House Republicans, they have earned another majority. They have done all the heavy lifting. They've passed the SAVE Act multiple times. They've passed tons of legislation only for it to go die in the Senate. Because like you said, we have spineless leaders that are too afraid to take up things on the will of the American people. And again, I just want to say with voter ID, and for those of you thinking about voting Democratic in this race around, or Democrats, I like to call them Democrats because it ticks them off. They like to be called Democratic. Look, 80% of folks agree that we need voter IDs. Democrats are basically saying that minorities and women are too stupid to go get a voter ID. That's what they think of their voting base. They think their voting base is too dumb to follow something as basic as that. So again, I just want to tell people, we've got to show people what's on the line here. I understand it has not all been peaches and cream the last 2 years or last year and a half. I totally understand that. But what's at stake is too important to ignore. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we are 1 or 2 elections away from losing this country.
Soldier on, brother. Appreciate your work. Please keep in touch. You're welcome to join us anytime and talk to the troops here in South Texas, the folks that are liberty-minded, independent, who love America and want to see the preservation of our way of life. And we appreciate all the work that you do. Look for his article at Newsmax.com. GOP strategist Jacob Lane. The article on Newsmax, GOP must start defining Democrats stop playing defense. That's always what they do. And they've never learned marketing. Maybe go take a couple of, marketing classes at the community college. That might help the GOP leadership. Thank you, Jacob.
I won't hold my breath, but
Be well, brother. We'll talk soon. Take care.
Thanks.
This segment brought to you by City of McAllen. Refresh 50/50.
Back to Drive has officially arrived at South Texas Buick GMC. Drive home in a new GMC Sierra for just $330 a month, or enjoy a stylish Buick Encore GX starting at only $190 a month. Plus, take thousands of dollars off on selected GMC and Buick models. Visit SouthTexasGMC.com or call 661-5000. Celebrating over 20 years with you. Sherry Road exit between McAllen and Mission. South Texas Buick GMC. Not the biggest, just the best.
That sound? A melon field at dawn. It's where Monica de la Cruz's abuelo worked to feed his family. That's a steam press in the back of a dry cleaner's. That's where Monica pressed shirts, working her way through college, and eventually a small business of her own. But today, the American dream costs more. Monica's fighting back. Our voice in Congress, Monica de la Cruz voted to end the tax on tips, passed no tax on overtime, and made sure seniors keep more of their Social Security. For a South Texas family, that's up to $11,000 a year back in your pocket. More dinners out, more celebrations, more moments together. Monica de la Cruz, fighting in Congress for our American dream.
I'm Monica de la Cruz, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Monica for Congress.
Looking for a flexible part-time opportunity with a fun, fast-paced media company? Radio United is hiring a part-time sales coordinator. If you are organized, enjoy working with people, and have great computer and communication skills, bilingual preferred, we'd love to meet you. Help support our sales team, work with local businesses, and be a part of a company that connects communities every day. Apply now by sending your resume to human resources at radiounited.com. Join our team and help make an impact. Radio United is an equal opportunity employer.
Thank you, McAllen, and thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening today to News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's official home for Fox News Radio.
Thanks.
Time is 10:28, the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. And I want to say thank you to the gang over at the Museum of South Texas History, Most History, and my friend Frank. Love you, Frank. Dr. Francisco Guajardo. He's the CEO of the Museum of South Texas History. They hosted us yesterday and were co-sponsors for a special broadcast. If you missed any of it, go back and listen to Dr. Guy Bailey, president of our university. There were some little tidbits of information. I call them golden nuggets. That's what I tell Zach. Zach's probably sick and tired of me saying, go get the golden nuggets. Go get the golden nuggets. Why? Shut up, old man. Shut up, boomer. I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen Xer son. Shut up, Dad. I said, okay, son. Okay. The president of our university provided a recap of 10 years of tremendous successes, including on the research side. And the interviews that we do on KURV, all of them are on the YouTube channel, 710 KURV X, 710 KURV YouTube and X and Facebook. And go rewind. Dr. Bailey's interview with us, which was the main feature. He was the main sponsor of the broadcast special. We did it in celebration of season 2 of Division I football at UTRGV. Did you get a chance to go last year to one of the games, Freddie? No. It's quite a show. It was really fun because, with a little run and shoot and, passing and, all the scoring that they did. It was really, really fun. But it's wonderful to see the birth of a college football expansion of the sports culture. I think it solidifies the sports culture at the university. Great for branding, great for recruitment, by the way. I don't think we did enough of that in the conversation, but go check out the conversation with Dr. Guy Bailey, reviewing on the medical side and the research side, on other research, whether it's engineering or math. We are functioning now as a Tier 1, R1 university, research university. That's a big deal. That's a real big deal. And to accomplish that within the decade that UTRGV has been around. Now, the final announcement on this ain't going to happen for a while because the folks that are looking at all the numbers and the research and the papers and everything, it's going to take a while for them to make that announcement. But at this moment, it kind of reminds me when DHR was functioning as a level 1 trauma hospital, as an example. They functioned like that for like a couple of years, and then they received the designation from, the medical gods that bestow that. Well, on the academic side, UTRGV is functioning as an R1 top-level research university. And often I do think, I remember, like quite often, the disparaging comments, the pejoratives that were applied to Pan American University or UTPA or our local university. And I'm not going to repeat them because if you're new to the area, if you're new at UTRGV and you're not familiar with any of that, I don't want to soil your mind or your ears with any of that filth, racist, I would say racist crap. Those names, those insults that were used to describe Pan American University and UTPA. And no, it's a different era now. And there's no turning back with the way things are going down here as far as industry. Thank you, Lord, for answering the prayers. Thank you to all the local leadership who worked so hard at state legislature to make it happen. Yeah, pretty much all Democrats. The good ones, a few good Democrats are left in the Democrat Party who have absolutely no control on the craziness that's taking place right now. This has been a work for the past 30 years, past 20 plus years. And now we have medical school, a unified university, engineering programs left and right, and Tier 1 research at UTRGV. So go Vaqueros. V's up. Go Vaqueros. Time is 10:32. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. This hour of the program is a service of South Texas Buick GMC and Lone Star National Bank.
You go, Dad.
At LSNB, we build strong foundations on values that matter.
And business practices you can rely on.
Investing in education.
Volunteering in the communities we serve.
And fueling our region's economy.
For over 40 years.
Our mission has been supporting area businesses.
We are LSNB.
Donating more money to more causes than all other area banks combined.
Here, in a place we call home. We are LSNB.
The Valley's Bank.
I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Gear up this fall with the new all